Dr. Ankit Shah. Dr. Ankit Shah, he's a man with very interesting concepts who has studied many subjects very seriously, and especially he is considered to be the concept man of the upcoming Sanatan economics model. And his writings and his predictions have been taken quite seriously. A few examples, I can share with you on issues like happening of Doklam, nullification of Article 370 and 35A, and issues related to standoff with China, Pakistan. These issues he has been writing quite seriously, and his writings have been taken very seriously.
Jai Shri Ram. So, distinguished guests, people on the dais, people in the audience, thank you for coming here for this event. This is the third book on geopolitics where, I have participated, contributed something from my end. And as you've been knowing that I've been speaking a lot on what changes are happening in the geoeconomics of this world, the kind of world that we are heading towards through this decade. Massive changes expected. Some of them very painful changes, to be precise, because what we are witnessing through this decade, by 2030, the way we were living our lives is going to see a big change. Because through this decade, we are going to witness 400 years of cycle of single country reserve currency ending. And what do you mean by 400 years of cycle of single country reserve currency ending? That means everything that the colonizers systemized in this world, the lifestyle that we've been living, is going to take a big turn. So, if you go 400 years back, what were the changes which were initiated by the colonizers? The first big change was imposition of English language. Now, all of a sudden, if I am to hand over you a book which is written in Tamil, what is the feeling that you get? I mean, people in the north. You can be easily labeled as an illiterate. This is exactly what happened with the entire world when the colonizers imposed English language. This particular geography, which had more than 85% of world literacy, suddenly overnight turning illiterate. The Britishers come up with an organized slavery scheme. So the slaves which were sold in open markets, chained, showcased and sold by auction, they devised a classroom format for it. They ensured that any human being that enters that four walls, after wasting 15-20 years of his life, comes out totally blank. And when that person comes out totally blank, you do an organized human trafficking of that person to companies. So when Adam Smith comes with his capitalism, he says, I want to do division of labor, benefits of division of labor, and economies of scale. So the whole world, which was operating with an entrepreneurship model, a family-based entrepreneurship model, was told that finish off all the varieties of products that you make. I'm going to customize and make only one kind of a design. you lose your entrepreneurship. Whatever savings and wealth that you have, hand it over to me. I'm going to put up a factory, and then you are going to become my jobbers. With this Adam Smith capitalism, 90% wealth of the people went into the hands of 5% people. This is extreme capitalism. And when that level of exploitation happened with the society, with that 18th century industrialization, Karl Marx was born and he's saying, now I want things for free. So, while politicians come and declare that I'm going to give this thing for free, that thing for free, so obviously the voters who are actual wealth creators, they feel the pinch, they don't like it. You had the budget recently and there were comments, why should freebies be given? But then with that kind of Adam Smith capitalism, when you are exploiting the society so much, Karl Marx will be born and they'll be asking things for free. So in this British classroom format, they ensured that feminization of men happens. And when I say feminization of men, they devised a memory testing for 3 hours as an exam, which has no repercussion in the real market outside. So in this feminization of men process, the entrepreneurship was destroyed. Once the entrepreneurship was destroyed and the job model was established, obviously somebody who is a human being who is in control for 10 hours under some boss, employer, when he gets free out of that 10 hours of work, he wants to taste some kind of freedom. So the behavior that the men did before going to office and the behavior that the men did at home after coming from office, that was showcased to women as empowerment. This is how women also were dragged to jobs. Once this entire, and this is the recent budget has come, if you read the economic survey, beautifully drafted, whoever is drafting it, I do not know, beautifully drafted. The economic survey is saying that the profits of the companies quadrupled, the salaries didn't. So if my savings as a society is going to be handed over to few companies via stocks, and then you are also not going to give me jobs, and these few families are going to have extravagant expenditure, then I think somewhere down the line, as our chief guest rightly pointed out, we have to start thinking on family unit entrepreneurship. Because if I am going to not even get jobs and I am going to park my savings in companies which are not even ready to give jobs, tomorrow they will deploy technology and remove the number of jobs as well, then why am I buying their products? Why should I buy their products? So Adam Smith's capitalism, which has resulted into this kind of exploitation of society, which was empowered, by the way, by the single country reserve currency, pound and dollar, for the last 400 years, that has to take a turn with a de-dollarization process which has started. And what that goes to show is that very soon the British classroom format is going to be questioned. They are going to be questioned if there are no enough jobs. Why are you wasting my 15 to 20 years within these four walls? And as soon as that British classroom format is going to be questioned, the immediate idea that is going to come is that why not I buy products with my neighbor? Why shouldn't I buy his product rather than buying product of some company which is not even going to give me jobs? So this entire individualism wave which was done by fooling citizens, by breaking their entrepreneurship corpus at diverting that money to stocks by telling parents that the product which comes out from this classroom after 20 years of investment is so dumb that you have to park your savings in stocks. You don't want to invest in your own son and daughter as seed fund to start some entrepreneurship. What that goes to show is that this reversal with de-dollarization is going to revive the family unit entrepreneurship back. Which means some of the predictions that I have given post 2030, you are going to see a collapse, a literal collapse of what I call as the fiat dollar cities. California, New York, Chicago, London, Paris, Berlin, Sydney, Toronto, all those fiat dollar cities which were built by breaking family entrepreneurship corpus, by building these multinational companies who throw peanuts at you from your own money because the savings is yours, is all going to see a reversal. The same single country reserve currency which has looted the valuation of the core sectors like agriculture, that the farmers have to suicide, looted the valuation of core sectors like manufacturing, food processing, logistics. These all sectors are now going to come back to their real valuations. So eventually in the geopolitical world, what this translates into is Europe standing at Russian borders, Russia standing at Chinese borders, China standing at Indian borders, India standing at Pakistan borders, Pakistan standing at Afghanistan borders, Afghanistan standing at Iran borders, Iran standing at Israel borders. This is going to reverse. Because to keep the reserve currency dollar, these artificial hotspots were created. Every country was told that your neighbor is a rogue country. We are going to sanction them, and you continue with the US dollar. So one bucket of nation got dollars and arms, second bucket of nations got sanctions. Now that every country has realized this, the de-dollarization process has begun. And now since you do not require United States dollar to trade anymore, all the artificial hotspots which were created between nations are reversing. So Ukraine is going to reverse, POK is going to reverse, Taiwan is going to reverse, Iran, Israel will also reverse. Which means post 2030 we are going into a world of regional integration because the Western currencies have lost their purchasing power. So the only three corridors which are going to run the geoeconomics of the world, the IMEC corridor, the INSTC which is built via Chabar port of Iran, and the Chennai-Vladivostok corridor. And with the regional integration, it is not far. It is not far if you see a China, Russia, India gas pipeline as well. This is a possibility. So post 2030, we are going into a world where English language will absolutely have no role. Right? Because that kind of a Western world order and Western construct will be scrapped out by the use of same technology which they boast about. A lot of companies will have options. Either they become a Bharatiya company or some Bharatiya businessmen will have some stake in it. Otherwise, they are not going to get access of the Indian market. This is the only geography left where the youngsters can earn their money and spend their money. All other countries have aged because of the Abrahamic economics model that they adopted. So this is the new world order which is coming, and we all have to prepare for this. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Ankit Shah. I wish we had more time to listen to these wonderful revolutionary words, and I can tell you that people like me tonight, are going to wake up for more time to think about the issues you have raised. Thank you very much.